Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. So we're going to take a look today at Google Now on tap. Now this was a feature shown to us by Google back at I/O, so months ago, and we've sort of been waiting for it to arrive, although they sort of said, you know, this probably isn't going to be ready until Android 6.0 is official and done and ready for public consumption, and it's actually ready now. So they've made it live. Now this is a part of the Google app. So if you have the latest version of the Google app and you're running Android 6.0 Marshmallow, even the latest developer preview, you can start taking advantage of this, which is kind of cool. So Google Now on tap, it essentially upgrades Google Now, if you will, and it brings you relevant information depending on what you're doing at the time. So if you're in an app and you need restaurant information about a specific place, or you want to book maybe a reservation there, or you want to find movie information or something about a sports person, you know, like an athlete or a celebrity or a musician, you can kind of find all of that stuff without necessarily leaving what you're doing. So you can kind of stay in the moment and get information in a hurry. It's very cool. And so the best way to explain is just to show you how it works. So first thing you would do is long press on home, depending on what you're in. And it actually sort of analyzes your screen. I don't know if you saw that little animation. Then it tries to bring you information based on what it's reading. And so in this situation, I'm on my home screen and there's nothing. So it says there's nothing on tap, but you should try this with places, people, movies, and more. And so an example I would do is, let's say you get an email from someone, and this just happens to be me emailing myself, and it says, how about a movie tomorrow? I really want to see Sicario. Should we go? So I can long press on home and it'll read my screen and start doing some magic in the background. And sure enough, it actually brings up a card about Sicario and shows me the movie poster, its IMDb rating, the fact that it's rated R and it's a mystery crime film. But what's really cool is down here, you'll see I can quickly Google search about Sicario, pull it up in Flickster, go to YouTube, which I'm assuming is the trailer, pull up news and some other stuff. So if I just tap on YouTube, let's say I don't know anything about this movie, goes into YouTube, and it should, and sure enough it does, actually pull up the trailer for Sicario right there in YouTube. So I could watch it and then sort of get up to speed on the movie before I respond to this person. Another cool thing is the fact that it's asking me if I want to create a calendar event for tomorrow to go see a movie. So it read the fact that this person said, should we go see a movie tomorrow? And it does that. And you can see the date there is actually October 1st. So pretty cool stuff there. And again, I kind of did all of this without really leaving my conversation or having to exit, go find another app, do another search and all of that stuff. I just kind of did it all from within this section. So another example would be, let's say I'm in a conversation in a chat app like Hangouts, and this works just about anywhere. So let's say someone asked me if I wanted to go have a beer tomorrow, and in this case they said Breakside. And they're actually referring to Breakside Brewery, but they only said Breakside. So let's say I don't really know much about Breakside, or I want to know if it's open or how I can get there and whatnot. And so I'd use Google Now on tap, and it says, well, let's create a calendar event for tomorrow to go to Breakside Brewery. So it's doing that, which is awesome. But down here, you can see it pulled up Breakside Brewery. There's a little picture of it, its rating, if it's expensive or not, and how far away it is. Now down here, it actually can give me quick navigation to it if I want to call the restaurant quickly, its Facebook page, its Yelp page, and even its menu. So you can look up all of that stuff, again, without having to leave and open up another app and find it individually. It's just all right here, and then I can quickly tap to get there. It's pretty impressive stuff. Another example would be, let's say I'm in the Score. So like here's an article about the Saints and Drew Brees. So now I could use Google Now on tap and long press, but you can use your voice as well. As long as you have the always on voice detection, you can actually talk to it. So I could say, okay, Google, how old is he?
Drew Brees is 36 years old.
So you'll notice I didn't even say Drew Brees. I just said, how old is he? And it read the fact that this article was about Drew Brees. It actually doesn't really say his name anywhere other than right there. It says Brees. I mean, it probably says Drew Brees down here in the actual article. But so you can do that as well. You don't necessarily have to long press. You can use your voice to ask questions about what you're looking at right now. And Google Now is smart enough to sort of analyze that and do it for you, which is pretty crazy stuff. The final example I would just show you is, like, let's just say you're in Chrome. You could, and you're reading an article or something like that, you could long press and analyze it here as well. So this should hopefully pull up stuff on Trent Reznor, and sure it does, and his Instagram and all of that stuff. And it sort of looks at other topics in that article as well, and pulls all of that stuff up. Now Google has also shown some examples of, like, they were at Google Now, they were listening to Skrillex and asked, what's this guy's real name. They didn't actually say Skrillex, but it still knew who was playing, and it pulled that up. So you guys get it. It's Google Now on tap, and it's rolling out now. Well, it's actually available now if your Nexus phone is running the newest 6.0 preview, and then obviously we'll roll out with Nexus phones next week when that OTA update comes out. So hopefully this was helpful. Just kind of show you a brief overview of how Google Now on tap works. If you guys want to know anything else, let us know. Otherwise, we are Droid Life. Peace.